My question is, how do you time the big market moves so well?
The, the interesting thing is, obviously, we haven't the faintest idea what the stock market is going to do when it opens on Monday. We never have had. We have never made, Charlie and I don't think, in all the time we've worked together, and I'll tell you something later on maybe about how learning takes place, but we have never, I don't think we've ever made a decision where either one of us has either said or been thinking we should buy or sell based on what the market is going to do.
No.
Or for that matter, on what the economy is going to do. We don't know. And the interesting thing is, sometimes I get some credit someplace for the fact that, how wonderful it was that we were optimistic in 2008 and when everybody was down on stocks and all that sort of thing. We spent a big percentage of our net worth at a very dumb time. and I shouldn't say we, it's I. We spent about $15 or $16 billion, which was a lot bigger to us then than it is now. We spent it in the last few weeks. There was a period of 3 or 4 weeks between Wrigley and Goldman Sachs and General, at a terrible time, as it turned out. I mean, I didn't know whether it was going to be a good time or a bad time, but it was a really dumb time. And I wrote an article for the New York Times and Buy American and all these things. Well, if I'd had any sense of timing and waited 6 months until, I think the low was in March, and in fact, I think I was on CNBC maybe that day or something, but I totally missed that opportunity. I totally missed, in March of 2020. We have not been good at timing. We've been reasonably good at figuring out when we were getting enough for our money. And we had no idea when we bought anything. Well, we always hoped it would go down for a while so we could buy more, and we hoped even after we were done buying and ran out of money that if it was cheap, the company would keep buying, and in effect taking our interest up. I mean, that's stuff you could learn it in 4th grade, but it's not what's taught in school. And, I mean, so never give us any credit. Well, actually, give us all the credit. I mean, go out and tell everybody how smart we are, but we aren't. We haven't ever timed anything. We've never figured out insights into the economy. I mean, when I was 11 years old, March 12th, I guess, 1942, March 11th, I bought stock when the Dow was 90, well, it was 101 in the morning. It was 99 at the end of the day, I think. And, now it's 34,000, or maybe it's 1,000 less than it was on Thursday. But I just, it's one decision that it's a good thing to own American business. And if the Harvard endowment had come to see me, and it's 11-year-old, or General Motors pension fund or something, they say, well, no, but we have to have a balance, and we have to maybe have 60%, and then we have to sit around every 3 months and listen to a bunch of managers. They'd have just done better if they'd just taken some darts and thrown them and just said, we're going to be in America 50 years from now and 100 years from now, and we'll do better in stocks than we will in bonds. It's amazing how hard people make what a simple game it is. But of course, if they told everybody what a simple game it was, 90% of the income or more of the people that were speaking would disappear. So there's really a little too much of us to expect of human nature that people will explain why they really aren't adding any value to what you can do by yourself, or actually I hate to use the example, but you can't have monkeys throwing darts at the page and take away the management fees and everything. I'll bet on the monkeys, but I don't consider them a superior species, and I don't want them to move next door instead of my next door neighbor or anything. But that is the way it's just the way it has to be. Charlie, do you have anything cheerful to say?
Well, frequently in the wealth advisory business, the way it used to be, you go to your investment advisor and you say, what should I do to protect myself for the future? And he says, why don't you give me $50,000 of your net worth now? That's my contribution to your future. It's a peculiar business.
Yeah, it's a great place to go rich. Still, if you have a son or daughter that really wants to make money per point of IQ and per erg of energy and all of that, well, tell them to go to Wall Street. I mean, don't have them enter the priesthood or anything. I mean, if that's what it self-selects, and it always will be the case.